Welcome back, squad. It is snowing here, which means it's fantasy football playoff time. Let's talk about it. Welcome back. We got some stats, some numbers, some things that will hopefully help you win and not lose like I did this year. Up first, the Texans have not allowed a QB to finish in the top 12 all year. Of course, they play the Chiefs this week, so I'm not exactly feeling great about that number to continue. But they've played the Ravens, Bills, and Broncos, and that's remained true through all of it, so who knows? Does this mean you should bench Mahomes? Not necessarily, but I don't feel good about it in this matchup. Up next, I've talked about this before, but the Bengals are worse in fantasy points per game given up to the tight end position. They average almost 23 fantasy points a game given up to all the tight ends on the team. Wow. This week they go against the Bills, and I'm hoping that it's a high scoring matchup and Kincaid is back. And if he's back, that they throw the ball a lot and that he's on the field and that he gets into the end zone. Regardless, I think it's a good spot for him if he plays. Don't feel great about the Bills tight end room, but feel good about the matchup. Mark Andrews has a 67% snap share at tight end this year, but since his bye, he's had one game above that number and it was 68%. He's not seen the field as much as he used to. Also, since the bye, he's averaged 4 targets a game. Part of this is Lamar has been bad baloney. Part of this is Andrews is just not featured on the team as much. Hopefully this will change, but that is where we're at. On the flip side of the Bengals, the Bills are very good against tight ends. They're first in fantasy points a game given up to the position and second in red zone fantasy points per game given up to the position. So they're quite good. They average under 5 targets a game to the position, under 3 catches a game, and under 30 yards to the position, which is crazy. Now, are you starting a Bengals tight end? No, not necessarily. But future-wise, it's important to look ahead. Don't look now because his yards are horrific, but Wan'Dale is first in targets over the last 5 weeks. Yeah, he had Jameis for some of that, but even with Dart coming back, he did well in this pass game. And I mean well for like targets. He had no yards on those targets, but he's getting the targets, which is cool to see. Also, the Giants defense is atrocious, so I think they're going to have to throw. This is going to make people sad, including myself. Over the last 4 weeks, Justin Jefferson is wide receiver 61. Some guys who he is below in fantasy points per game. This is going to scare you. Just strap it. Andre Osivas, DJ Moore, Luther Burden, Isaiah Hodgins, Jerry Jeudy, Pat Bryant, Alec Pierce, Parker Washington, Tez Johnson, Matt Collins, John Mechie, Jalen Coker, Devon Vele. All right, let's move on. CMC is 7th in total targets, not targets to running backs, targets to anyone on the field. Wow. He's quite good. You're welcome. The Chargers throw to wide receivers on nearly 70% of their throws this season, which is a league high. The Steelers are lowest with that number around 40, low 40s, but the Raiders over the last 5 weeks are in the high 30s with that number. So because of Brock Bowers. And Tyler Lockett's there, so that inspires just great confidence. And then some wide receivers who you're maybe considering starting with the lowest amount of red zone targets. I didn't include guys who are like 4th string wide receivers or who barely see the field, so these are guys that might actually play. Alec Pierce has 4 red zone targets. Darnell Mooney has 5 red zone targets. Yes, he was hurt, but Brian Thomas Jr. has 4 red zone targets. J-Mo has 4 red zone targets. And Zay Flowers has 6 red zone targets. So interesting to note, going into week 14, BTJ has 4 targets. I get he was hurt, I understand, but geez. And if you look at tight end, these guys are the bottom 5 in targets inside the 10-yard line. K. Dotton has 2 targets. Fannin has 1. Jawan Johnson has 1. Dalton Kincaid has 1. Evan Ingram has 0. But if you push it out to the 20, you can see these guys are the ones that overlap. On has 3 and Kincaid has 5. Not making a great case for what I wanted earlier about the Bengals being a bad tight end defense. And staying with tight ends, Ertz and Schultz are 2nd and 4th in average targets a game over the last 4 weeks. They're both top 11 in targets inside the 20. And over that span, Zach Ertz is tight end 8 and Schultz is tight end 11. So they're kind of making a push, which is interesting to see and fun to see from the old guys. Is Schultz old? I don't think he's that old. How old is he? He's 29. I'm 28. Am I old? Anyway, good luck if you made the playoffs. Good luck if you didn't. Hopefully this week goes well for you. We're into the fantasy football playoffs in my leagues. Hopefully you're there. If not, you're close. Good luck to you. Hoping for the best. Peace out.